Okay, we finally get to play a game. It's been a long time since the bowl game. There've been a lot of things that have happened. Our mat drill program, our spring ball, our summer conditioning, fall camp, and then, the latter part of last week and all of this week in preparation for Bethune-Cookman College. So we're ready to play another team. I know I can't ever remember being a part of a team in 30-some years of football where everybody wasn't excited to play the first opponent. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be in conference, out of conference. It doesn't matter. It just means a lot, and it's just a chance to finally join forces and get after somebody. We spend all the spring competing against each other, offense versus defense, all fall, offense versus defense. Now we're on the same team along with our special teams, so I'm really looking forward to that. Coach Sims has done a very good job at Bethune. Their season was probably a little bit like ours a year ago. Finished very strong, had 4 out of 5 wins in the end, and I know we had 5 out of 5 wins in the end, and I think both programs are carrying that momentum into the season. And they've got 15 starters returning, 8 on offense, 7 on defense, and his coordinators are back. Offensive coordinator's been there 3 years, defensive coordinator's 8 years, so guys that have worked together and trust each other, and you can see it on tape. You see they really are. They execute well on both sides of the ball, and it'll be fun to see what we can do. So with that, I'll open it up. Yes.
All through camp you talk about installation and personnel. What's this like? What's this week been like for the players finally getting the game plan against them?
Well, it's still hot as it could be, and it's still a grind to practice out there in it, and they have to be physically able to endure it, but mentally able to endure the heat as well. And so we pushed them today. We pushed them hard, and you never know. I mean, the weather's probably going to be like it was today, hot, humid. Probably not a lot of breeze in the stadium. And we finished at about 11:30. We don't even kick it off till 12:30, so it'll probably even get a little hotter before the day's over. So we just got to practice in that. And the big thing for me, especially from an offensive standpoint, is I'd like to play as many guys as I can play. You beat the heat with being in great condition, but you beat the heat by substituting. But I told those guys, I'm not going to substitute if you don't know what to do. If everybody takes a turn making a mistake, then it's 11 mistakes, could be 11 drives, it could be not good for us. And the other thing is, there's always great ideas. You watch film, oh, here's a good idea, here's a good idea, here's a good idea. Well, you can put all those good ideas in, but if you don't execute them, they're really not that good. Football is about execution, and I want to make sure we know what we're doing and we execute well. If we do and we secure the ball like we should, if we respect the ball at the quarterback position and we secure the ball at the running back and wide receiver tight end position, if we catch it, or we get to hold it, or quarterback for that matter, if you take off running or you're in the middle of a pocket and move it around back there, you got to secure the ball. And then if you do that, you got a chance, and then you got to not have the self-inflicted wounds in the foolish penalties that we've had. Really, I know a couple of years ago, before I got here, everybody was talking about that, but we weren't a whole lot better. We were better, but not a whole lot better when it comes to penalties. So we've got to do a better job of that.
Mark, I asked Manny a similar question. You want Saturday to go as well as you can, of course, but how beneficial would it be if Malik and some other guys face a little bit of adversity, face at least a couple adverse situations somewhere in the game?
I think for the quarterback position, just the pressure of being the man it's going to happen. I mean, it's already happening. He's living it out as we speak. He's the guy. He has to perform every day in practice. He knows he's got to perform in the game, and the game is different. I mean, the lights are on, the cameras are on, the games count as far as your record's concerned, and that it's time to play against somebody who has bad intentions towards you, quite frankly. The quarterbacks have not been tackled, and they will get tackled. They'll get tackled whether it's a sack or they'll get tackled whether it's a quarterback run or a scramble or whatever it may be. So he's got to be prepared for that too. So I think there'll be enough adversity in this game, especially for him. Yes.
How has he done? I heard you say yesterday on Joe Rose, he kind of had a little bit of up and down right after.
For a day or two, he was not as sharp. It's just like my son John said, Dad, he wasn't bad. I said, no, he wasn't, but he's not as sharp as he was. So, I mean, he was really, I'd say he was still practicing good, but up until that time, I thought he was practicing great. And so he had a day or two that was so-so. And then, Sunday night, he lit it up. I mean, you couldn't have thrown any better than he threw it. You couldn't have made better decisions than he was making. He practiced well, and today, I saw the same thing today. So he'd probably over that little feeling of how do I act now. So.
Mark, have you made a call yet? You think on Nkosi and Cade and whether they might play? You want to try to get a connection?
We haven't really just gotten down to the nitty gritty of it, but it's up in the air right now. I don't know what's best. If I could look into the future and know exactly how Malik would play, if I could look in the future and know his health status for the entire season, it'd be easier to decide what to do. But right now, we don't know that. And like I told both of them, you better keep learning. You better keep competing because you don't know what can happen. One play, God forbid, Malik gets hurt. Now Evan's in there. Who knows? Now you're one play away in reality. So you can't relax. You got to keep learning. And the only thing holding those two young guys back from truly getting into the race is just what they know and what they're comfortable executing. The other thing that a veteran player has is just the experience from the year before. And so let's say we're game planning this team and they do everything we think they're going to do. Then a younger guy would probably handle that better than if something was different. Well, if we go into this game and they do some things differently, it could be something we've never seen before, but I doubt it. It's probably something we've seen before, something that we can say to Malik, hey, this is what so-and-so did last year, so just this is how we're going to react. And it'll be, okay, let's go. Instead of having to, wait till halftime and get on the board and try to explain a bunch of stuff.
So David Njoku is gone, and he got a lot of publicity last year. He had a great season. Chris Herndon's here. What can he do, and what's it going to be like without both of them?
Right. Well, Chris is going to basically play the same spot that he played, which we call the F, actually. He's the guy that is the tight end body that's attached to the formation most of the time. We do spread with him. All right, so we'll spread him out away from the line of scrimmage some. We'll put him in the backfield like we did last year as a fullback, a true fullback. He runs block well. He pass blocks well. He knows how to run routes in space. He knows how to run routes as a back. We could even be in split back, and he could be one of our backs in the backfield protecting and running routes and things of that nature. So he won't do really anything different than a year ago. So, but the difference is where Njoku was playing out there, where Barrios is playing mostly, and Jeff Thomas is playing mostly. That's where Njoku was. So he's gone. Well, now we're more of a 3 receiver, 1 tight end set than a 2 tight end, 2 receiver set that we were with David, because David he played probably more away from the line of scrimmage as a receiver than he did to the line of scrimmage. So he'll be very similar.
Is he a very talented guy, and maybe he's just underappreciated?
He wasn't underappreciated. The guy caught a bunch of balls, and he had 300-400 yards passing, receiving. So we appreciated him.
Mark, right now, how do you feel about the second string offensive line?
You know what? There's been moments. Well, I'll say a lot better than a year ago. A lot better. I mean, even today, at least twice, we drop back to throw the ball downfield, and they block them. They pass pro, our number 1 D line, and Evans back in the pocket, making his progressions and reads and throwing strikes, and I mean that's the number 2 line, and so we're better than a year ago. And how many of the guys can get to the point where, I mean, it'd be wonderful if across the board, left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle, if somebody ahead gets tired or gets dinged up, you just boom, you move that guy up. You know, I don't know if we're there yet. We're probably taking Trevor and making him a tackle if something happens to a tackle, and then probably putting Corey Gaynor or my brain just locked. But Mahoney, thank you. Sorry, Mahoney and the Mahoney family. But Mahoney would, you know, could get in there, you know. So I don't know if we're kind of like stacking them behind each other where we just say next man up. We probably got to shuffle the lineup if somebody gets hurt.
Mark, did you hear about?
I'll get there too. Yeah.
Did you hear about Matt Stafford's deal? And did you send?
Well, I was told that right in the meeting. So I'm in the meeting, and we go from the meeting to the field, and I'm happy for Matt. Matt's a great player and a great person.
We saw that Gerald Willis was at practice today. Is he?
Well, he's doing his 5-day acclimation, so everybody had shoulder pads on, and he didn't. He had his second practice today. He practiced whatever day it was, Sunday.
But is he still?
He won't play. He won't play this year, but he'll practice this year.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do one or two more. Yeah.
Just with Mark Walton, the season he had last year, what kind of attention are you expecting from teams this season with him?
Well, I hope we're good enough in the perimeter where they can't stack the box on the kid. You know, but with his ability to run and a QB with, you know, a little more mobility, they may have to play more one high looks, and one high look simplifies defenses and routes and progressions. And so if we throw and catch really good out there with the one high look, which usually is 3 deep or man coverage of some kind, but for the most part it's man to man, we've got to throw and catch really good. So if we don't throw and catch good, it could be a long year for Mark for sure, but I think we'll throw it pretty good. Last one.
How do you handle expectations playing an FCS bowl where people are saying, okay, should expect a big win and all this? How do you deal with that?
We look at tape. We look at what our opponent does. We put our game plan in. We run the plays that we run against these looks and just try to execute. That's the main thing for us. All right.